Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here coming at you with another StarCraft commentary. We got game number 2 here of XellOs versus iloveoov. It's going to be awesome. We got a great matchup here. Two absolute legends facing off against each other. This is the map Forte. It's a new map for this season that we haven't seen before. If you've been watching the VODs and Chill, we've watched a lot of games on this map. It's a pretty interesting map. Let me see if I can pull it up actually real quick, just to since this is the first tournament game that we've done for this map. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the map, since this is gonna be a little bit of time before we get too far into this. Okay, so here's the map. 4 spawn points. Very narrow ramp leading out of the spawn points into this kind of open area, and then there's an expansion on the side that's a little bit far away, and this is the crucial thing right here. I can't zoom in on it or anything like that, but you can see on the sides of the expansions there's high ground, and what do Terrans love? High ground to put tanks on top of. So I'm expecting that to be a factor in this game, but we'll see. We'll see. In any case, so. And this is map. I mean, this map is gonna be a little bit more interesting too on other matches. So this actually, like for example, we're looking at the stats of this map, and in TVZ, Forte actually leans towards Zerg a little bit, but this map was then revamped a little bit into Neo Forte. Just some slight changes to the sort of the high ground areas and stuff like that. It's just a few changes here and there. And if you count the stats of Forte and Neo Forte together, it's actually a very Terran favored map. Not surprising based on the fact that there are those high ground spots that you can put tanks on and just shell your opponent's natural expansion very quickly. Very easily, I should say. In any case, just something to consider throughout this tournament. So, by the way, again, we got the red Terran in the bottom left, excuse me, is iloveoov. The yellow Terran on the bottom right is going to be XellOs, who is up a game. There he is, cool as a cucumba. I love XellOs. I don't know why, I've said this before, but I love XellOs. He's just like, just for something about his demeanor. He's just always so cool, composed, almost blasé, and it's just, even under harsh fire, even when he loses or wins, he's just like total deadpan, and it's just but in a really cool way. Like, he doesn't look deadpan like resting, B face or anything like that. It's just, he just looks so badass somehow. I don't know how he looks badass without an expression, but he does. Anyway, XellOs is up a game, as I mentioned, so he has a little bit of advantage here. It has been, I think, a week since that first game was played, in reality, even though I'm casting these games as a series instead of doing all 4 of the first games and then all 4 of the second, third games. In any case. But regardless, I don't know if that momentum is going to wear off, maybe. I think maybe having a week off means that the momentum is a little bit easier to deal with. Oh, 2 starports. 2 starports for Oov here. That is interesting. That is very interesting. It's, again, not super uncommon in this era, though. Like, a lot of times it would be like, oh, wow, 2 starports. That's crazy. But, like, 2 starports often is answered by 2 starports. The 2003, a lot of the games we've seen in 2003, 4, 5, and TVT end up having lots of wraiths involved. XellOs' Vultures trying to break up this ramp here is going to eventually deal with the pathing and the vision up that ramp, and it's going to get into the base and start shelling these SCVs. Is he going to scout the starports, though, is the question. He's just killing SCVs. A tank comes out now as well. I think it was Oov that got the starports, right? Or am I crazy? No, Oov has factories. No. XellOs still with the starports? I'm actually confusing myself now. Yeah, okay, XellOs has the starports. I'm so confused that, like, I just had a moment, like, where I was like, maybe I should just start over. And just not be confused, since we're not that far into the game. But I actually do not have too much time right now. I just barely have enough time to cast this game before I have to go to a meeting. So apologies in advance that after this game is over, I'm going to have to cut and run and not do much of a closing comments or anything like that. But in any case, XellOs trying to defend here. It's because he's gone for the starport tech. He doesn't have anything on the ground, but the first starport is out in time that he can actually start targeting the ground units. He's actually going straight for the tank. EVER is still trying to push down. He's going to see if he can break down this door and get in before the Wraith can stop him from doing it. If he can get some SCVs over here to repair, it'd be good. He's actually going to try and finish the bunker, which is kind of smart. He's going to try and repair the... Oh, he repairs the depot just barely enough. The SCV goes down better in the bunker, but the one from the depot switches over. He's killed so many SCVs, it looks like the bunker will not complete. The depot goes down. The door is open. EVER's vultures are going to flood in, but there's now 3 Wraiths and a tank able to assault them. Those Wraiths will eventually be able to pick off all of the vultures. But, you know, it's in the meantime, they're going to wreak a lot of havoc, but they're not going into the main base. They just went into the natural expansion area, so there's not much of a threat to the SCVs or anything like that, and the Wraiths are going to take things out. And it looks like 1 vulture is left. Did it take out the tank? I'm actually not sure. And I just realized that I've been bouncing my leg up and down nervously, like on the side. Not like nervously, like I'm not nervous, but like, you know, like a nervous tick or whatever. And so I apologize if that's been making a sound. Hopefully my chair hasn't been making a clicking sound or something like that this whole time. If so, I apologize. But again, it's another reason to go back and check the audio and restart, but I don't have time. I need to get this game done. Now or never. Well, actually now or just later, but trying to get these games out because like I said, I'm moving soon, and I want to try and get stuff on YouTube before I am on the road, because it's going to be very hard to cast while I'm on the road. We might have some more car casts in the future, though. In any case, engineering bay is going up, but it gets killed off. The SCV gets killed off building the engineering bay a little bit late. I'm surprised he didn't make that eBay like as soon as he saw the Wraiths. Those Wraiths have been running around for a long time now, unless that's like the second engineering bay or something like that. He did get the Goliaths, but I feel like okay, so he went straight for Goliaths, and so that's his anti-Wraith defense. And so it's actually gonna be very difficult for XellOs to accomplish. But my leg is moving again. It's so weird. I don't even realize when it does that. Anyway, so these Wraiths aren't going to be able to do too much damage. I don't think he went for Cloak. I think he just went for the Wraiths. Hard to tell, though. Anyway, EVER now putting on some pressure with these Goliaths. The Wraiths can't do anything about that, but the tanks can. But he forgot there's mines there. So the mines actually do a significant amount of damage to those tanks. They're not going to be able to push out again. What the heck is going on there? Oh my god, that's creepy. That was weird. That guy was wearing a mask, but it was a mask that looked like a human face. And it was, I don't know, sorry, maybe I shouldn't have reacted so much, but that was so weird. And he was showing a picture on his phone or something like that, but this is 2005, so it was like a Nokia brick phone that he had a picture on or something? I don't know. Oh, man. I feel a little bit like I'm taking crazy pills today. He does have Cloak now. So, oh, there's the scan. Wraiths are in danger, but they just fall back. Oh, it does lose a Wraith there. I thought maybe he was going to save it. But 1 Wraith does get killed off. There it is again. That's so weird. That's so weird. And he was like holding his face as if it was his real face in a pose of shock. Anyway, armory going down now for XellOs. Very smart move. He's going to need to get those upgrades going. He's probably going to be behind on the upgrades. But also, you know, it's very common for Terrans to counter Wraiths with more Wraiths. So he does have the Goliaths right now, so I'm not expecting that. And XellOs may not be either, but it's just handy to be able to make your own Goliaths. If you have the gas for it, they're stronger units than, you know, vultures anyway. So, but regardless, this game is turning into a little bit of a macro game. Kind of, XellOs kind of catching up in tech. Now he's getting his own engineering bay, his own armory, etc. EVER has gotten ahead in that, but he's kind of lost some units because the Wraiths were at a tactical advantage. He did do a decent amount with the vultures earlier. Let's see, here he goes in. He's going to actually cloak the Wraiths, bait out a scan, escape with the Wraiths. trying to pick off that SCV. He's really just trying to slow. Oh, he actually is going to force another scan. He loses a Wraith for it, though. And he's actually going to run back into main. I think EVER is probably out of scans now. And I don't know if he's going to risk that Wraith by running around and trying to kill SCVs at this point. I think he just gets a scout of the main. Just going to go home and retreat. I'm trying to see. Oh, no! Oh, the mines are still there, and he's built factories next to that spot, and there are mines from like a long ago are picking off Goliaths as they pop out of the factories. That's actually crazy that those mines are still there. But I don't think XellOs has any scanning technology. He's just now building his academy and a third command center. In any case. But yeah, so those mines being a little bit annoying. EVER now transferring SCVs to his second base, which he's finally been able to get up and running. So again, XellOs kind of playing the tactical advantage into an economic advantage. And the VOD is being a little bit weird here. Some of these old VODs seem to be really skippy sometimes. So, but in any case, oh, that dropship is going to get cornered. But the tanks get out at least, so they're going to be able to do a little bit of damage before they go down. Can he get a second Goliath? If he can, I think it'd be, well, still not worth, but it'd be good. So he does get 2 Goliaths at least. Not a great trade, though, for a dropship and 2 tanks. So that dropship was kind of caught in the wrong position. XellOs now trying to move out here to secure a more middle position, possibly to secure, well, his third base is up in the north. But he still wants to gain position. He doesn't want to get trapped in his own choke point, because then he won't be able to defend that third basically very easily. It's on the other side of the high ground. Yeah, there we see right now. And in fact, we do see EVER sending a dropship that direction. That is probably headed for the high ground. He can drop 1 tank on either side and start shelling both bases. It would be a beautiful move. That's exactly what he's going to do. Tanks dropping out here. The Wraith was there to spot it, though. Actually, really cool positioning of that Wraith, making use of it as a spotter, and also that Wraith can now attack those tanks because there's no Goliaths in that dropship. So eventually, that Wraith will be able to finish off those tanks someday in a couple 100,000 years when it was able to do it. And he's going to speed up the process by dropping Goliaths and such on there as well. So not too much damage done by that drop. It was a good idea, though, but really cool positioning on that Wraith. And look at the crowd for a quarterfinal. Quarterfinal in an outdoor place with looks like hundreds of fans there watching. That is actually amazing. Actually amazing. Kind of makes me wonder. Actually, we were talking on my live stream the other day about crowd sizes, and I guess the largest crowd size was actually for a finals was actually in 2004. And so it's kind of interesting to think that like maybe this was like, I think of the Kespa days as being like the more popular days, but maybe StarCraft was actually more popular in these days. Like, you wouldn't have seen that many people at a quarterfinal for Brood War in 2010. And so I don't know if that means it's more or less popular, or if it's just a thing of the viewership. Anyway, point being, a lot of people are here to watch this, and a lot of people are watching this 16 years ago, watching some tanks drop out on the low ground so they can't actually even be assaulted by the SCVs. They're going to do a lot of shelling. Oh man, the SCVs are getting really confused. They're running in there to draw fire so the tanks can get into position. But in the meantime, he's losing so many SCVs. The splash damage is intense, and it's just absolutely slaughtering them. He's actually running some SCVs down in the bottom here, and that finally they're able to get into a position that the tanks splash each other. It's an effective attack, or effective defense, I should say. But he's just losing so much stuff. And I thought those SCVs are actually doing work. Now he's going to drop his own real units on top as well. Yes, SCVs are fake. You heard it here first. In any case, yeah, so EVER doing a good job of cleaning it up, but he lost a lot of SCVs in the meantime. Think of all the SCVs he could be transferring up to that. Well, it looks like he does have a lot of extra SCVs. He's still transferring to that upper spot there. But again, I still feel like XellOs is in the advantage economically. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he can, if EVER can pull something off in the long term, because I feel like he's winning the short-term battles, but he's losing the long-term battles. And actually, here's possibly the deciding battle, because XellOs wants to end it all right now. He's marching through the middle, dropping units on top, also to move stepping, attack stepping his units through the middle. He's actually killed all of oov's forces in the middle, and he's killed the dropships as well. oov has nothing left. There's actually not hundreds there. There's thousands of people watching this quarterfinal. This is amazing how many people are watching this. I keep referring to it in the present tense, but again, this is so long ago. But what can oov do right now? Even if he's got intense macro, how can he macro back that much of a loss with a lower economy and having not done any damage to XellOs' economy at all, basically? Maybe killed a few SCVs with that drop earlier, but he didn't do too much damage. XellOs is going to go ahead and drop here in the main. He actually almost dropped behind the minerals and said, oh, here's some free tanks. Let's go after these instead. And he does take those tanks out. It looks like the low ground forces of oov, which are substantial, are going to take that out. But yeah, actually, maybe a little bit better trade for oov. If oov does want to get back into the game, he's going to need some trades like that where he gets a little bit more than he loses. But how do you do that? You know, if you have more forces, you usually you could usually get the better trades as well. So things not looking too good here for oov. XellOs, though, he's still looking for the nails to put in the coffin. You know. It's not nailed shut yet, and so oov could still zombie up and jump out at any moment. Okay, here, this is the nails. This is the nails. This expansion has been found. The SCVs are going to get slaughtered on their way out of dodge. He gets a couple on the tail end of that conga line. But anyway, it looks like oov is going to lose that expansion. At the very least, it's not going to be functional anymore. He might save the command center. Here, oov is doing a counterattack, though. This is his desperate counterattack. If this doesn't succeed, he's going to have to leave the game. And it looks like XellOs has the forces to defend. He can pull us some SCVs, actually, if he wanted to right now. It might be a good idea to pull a couple SCVs to defend this. Doesn't even need the SCVs. The Wraith will do the trick. And the last-ditch counterattack by oov is going to fail. And it looks like we might see CGG. We might see GG. Not CCGG. That's a StarCraft 2 meme. That Wraith is going to do... That Wraith has 12 kills on it! That Wraith has 12 kills on it! That's crazy. Okay, now here's the actual last-ditch counterattack. oov dropping significant forces there. Trying to take out these expansions of XellOs and even things out. And also buy himself some time to rebuild. The SCVs are attacking the tanks, though. The tanks are shelling each other with the SCV fire, and there we go. XellOs brings in his main force, cleans it up. XellOs once again has the advantage. oov has very little mining. XellOs has 3 mining bases to oov's 1. XellOs has a bunch of forces and dropships. oov has 2 dropships. I just don't see how oov can come back in this, but it's possible. He's oov. He might be able to do it. Anyway, dropship's now moving across the map. He's put in a couple nails. This might be the final nail, though, because now oov is going to have to defend his last base. If he can't do it, he's not going to have any mining, and he knows he can't. He GG's. And there's the game. And in 2-0, 2 wins to 0, XellOs actually takes out oov, who could have been a favorite to win this whole Star League. Again, especially if if he'd gone up against some of the Zergs or anyone else maybe than XellOs. Well, maybe not Midas but yeah, I guess maybe anyone else. Maybe not Good Friend, but if he'd gone up against July Zerg, he would have had a solid chance. If Go Rush, he would have had a solid chance. I think Reach, he had a good chance. I think he beats Midas or Iris. So unluckily for oov, he's defeated in the round of 8 by XellOs. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, and XellOs gets to pick up the crumbs from that cookie and eat them in the semifinals. So anyway, like I said, I got to run and close this out very quickly, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG. The next up series is going to be July Zerg versus Iris. That'll be fun as well. Looking forward to it. Hope you are as well. GG.